Welcome to 𝗥𝗵𝗲 show. We so truly appreciate each and every one of you who tuning in. You know what? 80% is showing up, and you guys always are showing up, and this is what it's all about, to really knowing, okay, how you create success is to show up and to be here. And so, you know what, Ria and I, we're just grateful to each and every one. Now, for the new people who are just tuning in, you may not know what is the show about. Well, the show is about real estate and mindset. Ria, my co-host, she talks about real estate and I talk about mindset. So together, her and I will bridge the gap to achieving, so you guys achieve success in life and business. So today, my amazing co-host Ria, she's going to be taking over the conversation. So before she does, I want to introduce myself. My name is Alka.
My name is Ria.
And welcome to our
show. This topic is all about history and cycles. First lesson that I learned is that Robert learned a lot from history, having survived a number of up and down in the markets. Second, there is one historical financial trend that Robert believed is worth watching. And this trend is the 20-year cycle between stocks and commodities. So Robert, who sailed for an oil company and flew helicopters in search of gold, he became curious about why the prices of commodities went up as stock prices came down. So there is an inverse relationship between the commodities and the stock. So he realized that the commodities, when the price go up, the stock prices come down. Fourth, Robert came across a book written by Jim Roberts, one of his favorite financial authors, titled Hot Commodities. Rogers discovered that stock prices went up for 20 years, at the same time as commodity prices came down. So, for example, from 1960 to 1980, the commodity prices, so what are commodities? Commodities such as oil, gold, are just some of the commodity. So the commodity prices of oil, gold were rising. Now in 1980, the prices of the commodity of oil, gold, silver, real estate, the prices were coming down rapidly as the stock prices started climbing up. In 2000, at the height of the dot-com boom, the share prices went down and the commodity prices came roaring back up. Now, if history repeats, this book was written in 2008. This means that commodities will come down in 2020 and stocks will be the market to be again. It's going to go up. So I made a short table. So remember, this book was written in 2008. And at this time, 2020 was, I guess, Robert's prediction. So here on the left-hand column, we have your commodities, which is the oil, gold, silver, and real estate versus the stocks. Now, these are dates from 1960 to 1980. He said it's a 20-year cycle, right? So 1960 to 1980, I deleted something. So 1960 to 1980, 1980 to 2000, 2000, and 2020. So commodities in 1960 to 1980 was the prices went up. Now the stocks went down. Remember, there's an inverse relationship between the commodities and the stock. Now, in 1980 to 2000, the commodities, which are oil, gold, silver, and real estate, to name a few, went down, and the stock prices went up. In 2000, the dot-com boom, the commodities, the prices went up, and the stock went down. And the book was written in 2008, and so he said at the time when this book was written, by 2020, Robert said the commodities would go down and the stock price would go up. So if we remember, 2020 was the start of the pandemic, the COVID. And what happened? I can talk about real estate because I was buying then and I'm still buying now. I've always been in the cycle. So during the pandemic, so yes, it is true, 2000 it was high, and then we crashed in 2008. There was a crash there. And then after the crash, the prices went up slowly. And then in 2020, the prices went down again. The prices went down. And now in 2023, the prices are up. So if you look at it, Robert's prediction in 2020 was somewhat accurate. Look, he said it was going to go down because of the 20-year cycle, right? There's a up and down cycle. So if we look at stocks in 1960 to 1980, he said that the stocks would go down because the commodities went up. In 1980 to 2000, the stock prices went up while the commodities went down. In 2000, the stock price went down because the commodities stock prices went up. And then in 2020, the stock prices went up. So this is just a general overview of the cycle between the commodities and the stock. So, it depends on the stock because every stock is different, just like every real estate is different and every oil out there is different. So this is just a broad overview, a general concept between the commodities and the stock, the 20-year cycle, right? There is an up and down cycle of the market. Now, 8th lesson, obviously, Robert do not have a crystal ball, but history does seem to repeat. Just like this, history does seem to repeat. It's so hard to time the market. But if we look at it, the lesson I learned here is that history repeats itself, and usually it's a 20-year cycle. Others would say 8 years, others would say 10 years. But according to the book, this is the 20-year cycle. Now, in conclusion, financial IQ number 5, improving our financial information. Ultimately, it is not the asset that makes us rich. It is not the asset. Information, it is the information that makes one poor or rich. Example, if Robert had bought gold at $800 an ounce in 1979, now in 2008, Robert will still be waiting to make his money back. Why? Given how much the dollar has dropped in purchasing power, so your money is devalued. The $1 is not $1. It became, let's say, 50 cents, right? It became 50 cents. That's what it means, that the dollar has dropped in purchasing power. That means Robert would have to wait till the gold reached 1,500, 1,500. So that's almost like double the price of the gold to just break even in 2008. The same is true for any asset. For example, in real estate, most investors lose the money because of inadequate information and inadequate intelligence. That is why when someone asks Robert, "Hey, Robert, is real estate a good investment?" Robert's reply is, "I don't know. Are you a good investor?" Because why again? It is not the asset It is about the information and the intelligence that will make us rich. Most businesses fail because of a lack of good business information and intelligence, rather than from a lack of money. When people ask Robert, "Hey Robert, I have a great idea for a new business and I am looking for some money. Would you be interested in investing in my new company?" Now Robert's reply is, "I don't know. How many successful businesses have you started?" When Robert tried to buy gold from the old Vietnamese woman behind the enemy lines, Robert learned from the old woman that the price of gold had nothing to do with the value of gold. By understanding the value, the old woman knew why people were buying